some opening comments?
No, excited to get back started with spring ball. There's a lot of new faces in the coaching staff, and there's a lot of new faces that are going to be on the field. But it's exciting. It's exciting to get a new, fresh start with installing a new offense, a new defense, and I think the energy in the building. I think the guys are excited about learning the systems and excited about Coach McIntyre, excited about Rich Rod. So a lot of energy in the building, a lot of excitement, and ready to get started.
All right, raise your hand if you have a question. We'll bring the mic to you. Start with David here.
Matt, when you guys recruited Grant Tisdale, it was a little bit of a different offensive system, different offensive coordinator. How do you think his skill set plugs into what Rich Rodriguez is bringing to the offense?
No, I think it fits really well. That's and it's so important that he's here at mid-year. And the way we're gonna go 4 with the ones, 3 with the twos, and 2 with the threes. That way we're able to get all the quarterbacks reps. But to answer your question, Grant is a very good thrower. He comes from a great program in Allen, but he's also a very willing runner. So I think he has the ability to do both, and that's really what we want to do. We still want to be balanced with a little bit more of a emphasis on running the football, especially in the red zone.
Questions?
When you talk about that balance, Matt, what do you expect this offense to look like in terms of run versus pass?
Well, you know what? I think part of being a good offense is doing what your skill set allows it to do. And I think, Coach Rodriguez, he's known as from quarterback run, but he's also had systems where he's had, talented passers and talented receivers. So I think, getting a feel this spring will be very important. But I do want a physical blue-collar mindset. Now, I think that's the edge that he'll bring to the offense in a run first and set up the play action off of it mentality. But again, a lot of it will be predicated on Matt Corral and how he does, and then some of these young receivers as well.
Can you comment on the health of Montrell Custis, Jalen Jones, and DeMarcus Gregory?
Yeah, so DeMarcus will be out there. DeMarcus Gregory will be out there practicing. Custis and Jalen Jones still have a ways to go, so they'll be in green jerseys. They'll be doing the walkthroughs, but won't be able to participate in any of the team drills or endo. But they will be out there in green jerseys, and just so to help with the installation of the new defense.
Talked a little bit about developing a wide receiver. Obviously, a lot of bodies to replace in that room right now. What do you expect from the receivers that you have in? I know you got a couple of early enrollees and also some young players.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some talented guys in there. It's their turn to step up. I think one of the unique things that you've seen in our receiver room is even Dante Moncrief passing along the work ethic, and it's kind of gone on down the line, all the way down to AJ and DK. But now it's time for a new crop of receivers to step up, and I'm really excited. Elijah made a bunch of plays for us last year, so he'll be back. Same thing with Braylon Sanders, but now Miles has got to step up. Excited about what Dontario Drum has done since he's been here. So it's just an opportunity for a lot of young guys to step up.
Matt, with the new NCAA rules that's allowing y'all some time on the field, non-ball stuff with your team, how much install have you guys been able to accomplish over the last 3 weeks?
It's very beneficial for us to get our morning runs in and then go through walkthroughs. We're way further ahead than we would normally be, because you could do a lot more in a walkthrough than you can actually in a meeting room. So I think that rule's been really good, especially in our case where we're installing a new offense and a new defense. We've got 9 or 10 installs in already before practice. So I think it'll be a little bit cleaner than it normally would be because of those.
Matt, you signed a lot of offensive linemen, but to my knowledge, most of them are not here right now. How much is current depth of offensive line just a challenge in terms of what you want to do in the spring?
Yeah, it will certainly be a challenge. We're going to be running 3 groups, so we have enough for 3 groups. But I think until those other guys show up, it will definitely be a challenge. But it'll also give the opportunity for a lot of guys to get a bunch of reps that need it. I think it's kind of taken care of on the right side with Alex and Ben. Eli's done a great job at center. We've kind of used a couple different lineups with Royce at left tackle and Chandler Tuitt at left guard, but also with Bryce Matthews at tackle and Royce at left guard. So it'll definitely be a work in progress. Everybody always laughs at me when I tell them the job is to try to get the 5 best O linemen out there, and I think that's what we'll use these 15 practices to determine. But we do have a lot of guys that have got a bunch of reps. Bryce and Royce, those those guys, Chandler Tuitt, they've been in the program a while, now it's their turn to step up.
Coach, you talk about installing a new defense. How does the edge players kind of adjusted from maybe a shift from an end to outside linebacker?
Yeah, so it has been a little bit of a change with those defensive ends, some of them playing outside linebacker, some of the longer inside linebackers moving to outside linebacker. But the one thing I do like is the focus that it creates. You know, there's gonna be there's gonna be their own position, and there's gonna be a lot more focus and attention to detail, and they're gonna, you know, there's gonna be one coach coaching those guys, and it's gonna be very specific. And then on third down, they're gonna walk down and play some defensive end too, in some pass rush situations, but I'm excited about it.
Questions?
Who are some of those outside linebacker guys that moved out from inside or moved down from?
Yeah, so the two that have really jumped out, you know, Kadir Shepard and Chuck Wiley. I mean, Chuck Wiley's had a really good offseason. He's really impressed me. Moving forward, we moved Cavante Ruggs out there. Jonathan Hess is one of those guys that we moved out there. So I think a lot of those guys will be able to have that length and play in space. I think that really helps. And then on third down, we take the nose guard out, bring those guys in. They play defensive end, and they can rush the passer.
Sam Williams?
Sam Williams is a new guy. He'll be out there in that same position. Yep. He'll start.